this movie really messed me up a lot. Me myself, I'm a practicing Muslim man, a man of God you could say. So me making this recap meant recital of verses of the Quran and powerful du'as just to stay protected from the demons. Now the ending though, this scarred me in every sense of the word. I haven't been able to sleep properly since. You know those shots where everything is chilling and then you notice some demon lurking in the corner like John Cena, like bitchy. When the movies start appearing as night terrors, that's how you know you've watched some wicked unholy movie. What better way than to force that onto you guys? Before we get into the ending scene, I just want to quickly give you guys some backstory. So take a seat, grab some popcorn, and let's open up the first chapter of Hereditary.
Sensational.
The movie begins with this woman, who is the owner and potential manager of a satanic cult, worshipping one of Satan's disciples. Her name is Ellen, and I'm not talking about Ellen DeGeneres, although if something like this came out, I would not be surprised. Listen, between you and me, I'm not even trying to say the name of this guy. Astaghfirullah, I rebuke it. I'm afraid that if I say it too many times, he'll appear like Candyman. We'll call him the demon. He's in need of a male body to inhabit and infest. At this point, Ellen is dead and has left her children with the effects of her abusive and psychotic tendencies. The eldest of her children is Annie. The Graham family is having an all-round horrible year. Annie's daughter, Charlie, is left headless after her brother Peter hires a kite, attempts to drive her to the hospital. An allergic reaction leaves her gasping for air out the side of the car. This wooden streetlight etched with satanic imagery is mysteriously placed to meet Charlie's head, moving like a prime Heinz Doofenshmirtz. This demon is a villain in every sense of the word. This family is really going through it right now. The father starts to pick up on certain oddities shining through in Annie's daily life. Arguments at the family table, not turning up to work to do pointless shit at home, going to the movies every day when we know nothing good is playing right now. In an act of desperation, Annie attempts to communicate with her dead daughter Charlie, and to the shock and horror of the audience and myself, it works, but this is not the good news Annie had hoped for, and Annie is now possessed by the spirit of Charlie, her daughter. In a rage, the father throws the book Annie used in the fireplace, but to his detriment, is simultaneously set on fire like that one Metro Boomin cover. This is not something to bop your head to. My guy is literally on fire and is now dead, leaving Annie's body and soul vulnerable and ready. In a sick turn of events, she is now possessed by the spirit of the demon, and the BS ensues. Let's now pick up at the end of the movie. Peter wakes up in the middle of the night and the house is eerily quiet, and as you would in his situation, he decides to take a late night stroll. Yet again, main characters making horrible choices, all the while cosplaying as Walter White. It's the dead of night and nobody is around, and he just so happens to stumble upon the corpse of his burnt and charred father. On the list of things you don't want to see, it's got to be top 3 at least. But where's Annie? That's the real question. Remember what I said about certain shots earlier in the— yeah, this is what I'm talking about. She's flying and shit on the ceiling and he has no idea. In the next 10 seconds, a full-out chase scene begins and the mother is out for blood. As I mentioned earlier, the demon is in need of a male body to possess, so she's really trying to kill my man's soul and make space for the demon. Adrenaline pumping, Peter heads up to the attic thinking he's safe from his mother. After all, there is no way to get up here, right? If I already brought the stairs up. Unfortunately for Peter, we're watching a horror movie and logic does not apply in these scenarios. As we pan downstairs, we see Annie speed running CTE in one of the most memorable and scarring shots of the entire movie. Sobbing and pleading for his life, he begs his mother to stop. Shit, I would be too, but you made one mistake. That is not your mom anymore. After a few seconds, the violent banging dies down and he takes a second to inspect his surroundings. Shit is not sweet up here. We got naked cult members just chilling and waving and shit like we're friends or something. Like I don't know you. Candles are lit up everywhere. I would not leave those unattended, me personally. That's a major fire hazard. In a state of shock, Peter tries to find a way out of this nightmarish situation. He starts slapping himself silly to try and wake himself up out of the dream, but to no avail. He's fully sober and cooked in every sense of the word, and to his horror, the demon that possessed Annie also has the power of teleportation. As the camera cuts to Peter's perspective, we see her in all her horror, floating above him, piano wire in each hand, sawing a flipping head off. This is the last straw, so he jumps out the window in an attempt to end his life. And for Peter, that's exactly what it does, but his body is now ready for the demon to take full control of, which he does. This final scene, yeah, I will never willingly watch this ever, because I just don't need that trouble for my soul. The cult wins. They've acquired a physical form for their king, the demon. The movie ends with a sinister shot of the cult's temple in worship of their false king.